Hey everyone, and welcome back to Dallas Cowboys coverage after another big win against the Chicago Bears this time, as the Cowboys get another big win, advance to 6-2, heading into the bye week, and that's a pretty good place to be if you ask me. So obviously this team's faced a lot of adversity to start the year. Dak going down, Tyron Smith going down, just numerous injuries and hardships. It's been crazy. It's been a crazy start, and it's been a roller coaster ride for all of us, the team and the fans. It's been, all right, what is this year going to be? To shoot, the year's over, Dak goes down, Cooper Clutch comes in, wins some games, and now you're back, getting healthy again, going into the bye week. You're 6-2, and somehow still just tied for second in the division. It's been insane. The NFC East is back, goes from the worst to the best division in football. So it's an interesting spot right now, and obviously there's a lot of football left to be played, but really in a good spot for now. So I'm going to break down the game, and then after I'm going to talk some trade deadline stuff. So let's get right into it. So starting off with Dak Prescott, he was awesome. He looked all the way back to me. The first game, he just looked a little off, a little rusty. Really, aside from the one interception, he looked nearly perfect in this game. He looked so much better. His connection with CeeDee Lamb was excellent. And oh man, Tony Pollard. So obviously Zeke goes down with the knee sprain, and Tony Pollard steps in and does what he does, and he proved to me that he is the best running back on this team, and that it hurts me because I love Zeke so much. I think he's an excellent player, an excellent teammate, and he's still a huge part of this team. But Tony Pollard, man, his explosiveness, his elusiveness, it's next level. And he is just simply that much better of a runner than Ezekiel Elliott is at this point in their career. So to me, Tony Pollard, well, Zeke is not going to lose the starting label. I mean, they need to be 50-50 split minimum, in my opinion. Excuse me, really favoring Pollard, because every time Pollard goes out there, he makes a big play. And Zeke, he plays a good role because he's huge in the pass blocking. He should definitely be in on pass plays, and he can put together some tough runs, in close yard situations, picking up some important yardage. He really plays an important part. Sorry, I need to clear my throat. So I don't want to understate that. I don't want to say that Zeke doesn't matter, or that Tony Pollard should be full-time. It's a split, and it's been working because Zeke's had a good season this year too. But Tony Pollard leads this team in rushing yards, and he hasn't had near the amount of carries as Zeke. He averaged 9 yards a carry last game, over 100 yards for the first time by any Cowboys running back in over a year now, and the first Cowboys running back since Joseph Randle to score 3 rushing touchdowns in a single game. Pollard was amazing. He has been amazing, and he has put it on display time and time again. He's proved he can be an every down back, and even though that's not the role he's going to have, he needs to get more carries. He needs to, in my opinion, get more carries than Ezekiel Elliott's getting. But he just needs feet on the ball. What did he say? I don't remember exactly what he said, but he's gotten it done. Time and time again, he's proved it, and he's proved what kind of runner he is, and he needs to be treated as such, and he needs to get the carries that he deserves to be getting, because Tony Pollard is a great player, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens this offseason with his contract expiring. You have an out on Zeke's. We'll see. So let me know, who do you think should be the lead back in Dallas? Is it Tony Pollard? Is it Ezekiel Elliott? Do you think it should be a mix? Let me know in the comments. For me, it still should be a mix. It should be, pretty balanced. I think they both play a big role, but in terms of actually running the ball, I think Pollard should be the lead back, 60-40 at least to me. So Zeke's not going to lose the starting role, the title, but Pollard needs more carries. You can feed both of them, but just get Pollard involved because he's proved it. And this game, to anyone that doubted him, that's it. He proved it, and he proved everything that he is capable of, and that he can get it done every down as the starter, not just in quick bursts. He's he's a great player, and he put it on full display. So other than that, I want to give some credit to the offensive line too. It's been playing really outstanding. I mean, another huge question mark coming into the season. Tyron Smith goes down. McGovern goes down at the beginning, and it was crazy. Losing Lyle Collins. It was a rough looking line on paper, but they have really came together and they put it together. Jason Peters also played a pretty big role in my opinion. He's done a good job when he's been asked to be out there. So it's insane. It's amazing what they've been able to do together as a unit. It's been a little inconsistent at times, but lately they've really gotten it together. So got to give them a lot of props. And the defense, not their best showing. I'd say was probably their worst game as a unit of the season. It was interesting. They have trouble against the run and against running quarterbacks, and that's what the Bears do best. They run the ball, they pound it, and the defense didn't have answers. Luckily, the offense is the one that stepped up. The offense was amazing today, but please, can we have both? Can we have the defense play like they've been playing and the offense play like they did last week? That's a Super Bowl team, without question. And that's just what it's going to come down to, whether this team can put it all together. The offense, the defense, even the special teams. It just feels like when one's rolling, the other one's not. And, it's been okay in the regular season. One's stepped up enough to where you win. But when it comes playoff time, when you get into January and hopefully February, you need both units clicking. And that's going to be the difference. And the defense, it's awesome. To me, it's still a top 5 defense minimum. To me, it's the number 1 defense in the entire NFL right now. The pass rush is incredible. The secondary, your 3-headed monster of safeties, even banged up, they looked awesome. All 3 of them were hurting, and it'll be nice to really get this bye week to get everyone healed up. And I'll talk more in depth on injuries towards the end of the video. But this defense is so talented. They have so much really all over the place, but the one issue is stopping the run. We've seen it time and time again, and that's been my biggest concern. That's been a lot of our biggest concerns. And you brought in Johnathan Hankins, and he made a difference. There was a stat that both Khalil Herbert and David Montgomery averaged quite a bit less when he was in the game. So I think that's a good pickup, and I just hope that he can continue to help out. But again, one guy's not going to fix everything. It's got to be the unit, it's got to be the linebackers. Anthony Barr's got to play a little better. Vander has played well, but again, when it comes to stopping the run, being run clogging, Damone Clark even got some minutes. It's just you got to make an adjustment, whether that's bringing another safety more into the box to help out the linebackers. They've been doing a lot of 3 safety looks where they've incorporated that, but you just got to make adjustments. And there's no one I trust more than Dan Quinn to do so, just to make that clear. But it's got to happen, because that's your one weakness right now defensively. It's stopping the run, and it's a big one. It's a big one right now because they've allowed some massive yards. I mean, I think they were over 200 rushing yards for the Bears. Yeah. Even with a good running back duo, you just can't allow that. And the defense, I mean, they shine so much in other areas that it makes up for it, but once you get just elite running backs, once you're in these clutch, tough game situations, you just got to be able to stop the run. You can't let a team run down your throat all game. That leads to them controlling time of possession. That just throws everything off. And the defense, they're elite. They're so good. It's a special unit, but the run stopping, it's got to be better. You cut Trysten Hill. I just wanted to make note of that real quick. So he's gone, and you just got to hope that Johnathan Hankins can really step up and be that run clogging nose tackle that you traded for him to be. So that's going to be huge for him. Special teams, Brett Maher and Bryan Anger, good as usual. Kevontae Turpin doing his thing as well. So, that's the breakdown for me. It was a great game offensively, not the best on defense, but it was okay. You still put 49 points on the Bears. So great win, great situation to be in going into the bye week. So, I mean, it's been a crazy season. I'll say that, but the Cowboys have really exceeded all the expectations that I put on them to coming into the year, and especially after the injuries, the adversity you faced, you're in a good place, about halfway through the season. A lot of football still left to go, a lot of opportunities they're still going to have. So it's going to be interesting, and, I'm excited to keep watching it. So that's about it game-wise. I want to talk about the trade deadline. So obviously a lot of teams making some moves. The Vikings going out and getting TJ Hawkinson. The Eagles obviously getting Robert Quinn, and the 49ers with McCaffrey. It's a lot's going on. A lot's going on in the NFC. For the Cowboys, obviously you got Johnathan Hankins, but as for trade deadline day, nothing ended up happening. And it's tough for me. I as much as I wanted Brandon Cooks or DJ Moore, I never really got my hopes up. There's a part of me that just wanted it, but if you look at it, it was never really going to happen. Brandon Cooks, I think, was the most realistic option because I don't think the Panthers wanted to trade DJ Moore. And that was, that's kind of the guy we all had our eye on. If I think that's the guy we wanted. Brandon Cooks, a top wide receiver, bring some consistency into the receiver room and just really solidify a position that's been inconsistent to start the season. And it just didn't happen because he has a massive salary. Right now it's cool, but next year $18 million, it's too much. And the Cowboys were just it was never going to work out because you're going to have to give up minimum second round pick. The Steelers got one for Chase Claypool. For Brandon Cooks, it's probably going to take a second and maybe a fifth, sixth, a day 3 type pick. Plus, you have to eat that salary. It was just never going to happen for the Cowboys, and it's unfortunate to me. Not the fact that you didn't get Brandon Cooks, but the fact that you're in this situation because you traded Amari Cooper. Brandon Cooks and Amari Cooper, to me, are about the same level. I'd argue Amari Cooper's a little better. And right now, you're scrambling, trying to get a receiver at the deadline when you had one just a few months ago, and you traded him for a 5th-round pick. To me, that's the toughest pill to swallow in all this because one of your, inconsistencies has been the wide receiver position. Everyone's pushing, trade for a receiver. Get DJ Moore, get Brandon Cooks. You had Amari Cooper. You're the one that chose this team, the front office. Stephen Jones, Jerry Jones, they chose to let Amari Cooper walk for a 5th-round pick that I think maybe isn't even on the team anymore. I'm not sure the exact pick, but I think it might have been John Ridgway, who is on the Commanders. I mean, it's frustrating just in the sense that you're trying to do something at the deadline. Everyone's saying, get a receiver, but you had one. You had that receiver. You had Amari Cooper. What I would give to have Amari Cooper back on the team right now, I'd give a lot more than a 5th-round pick. And it just baffles me that the way this went down. Because Brandon Cooks has a massive salary too. And there were teams willing to give up a 2nd-round pick. It didn't end up happening, but you could have gotten the 2nd-round pick. There's no doubt in my mind you could have. Chase Claypool got a 2nd-round pick in return. You got Jalen Reagor. The Eagles got, I think, a 4th-round pick. And now Amari Cooper, better than maybe all of them, gets a 5th? I'm not going to go too deep into it before I get all frustrated with this again. I've been over it in the past, but to me, it's the front office with some regret. I don't know if they have regret about letting Amari Cooper himself go, but they definitely regret letting a top wide receiver go for a 5th-round pick because right now you need receiver help. You want receiver help. You're trying to trade for it. They had intense discussions with the Texans about Brandon Cooks, but it didn't go through. It's just frustrating to me because you had the talent. You had Amari Cooper. You let him go, and now you're in this situation because of it. So, I'm not saying it's the end of the world. James Washington's going to be coming back in a couple weeks. Noah Brown's really stepped up. You have talent. Michael Gallup is good. He's got to step up. He's got to show he's what they paid him for. But it's just frustrating because you could have had Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and Michael Gallup. You could have had that 3-headed monster, and you chose to break it up to save some money. And you didn't do anything with that money. So it's just tough because you could have been even better right now. And seeing teams like the Vikings, like the Eagles, like the 49ers, get these major additions to put their team over the top to get ready for a playoff run and for the Cowboys to stand pat and do just about nothing, it's frustrating because this has been the story for the Cowboys. They're always good, they're always right there, but it's just never enough. Jerry Jones talked about Deion Sanders, Charles Haley, the guys that elevated that 90s team to get more championships, just get 3 Super Bowls. He's talked about that. But when's the last time the Cowboys signed a big-time free agent? When's the last time they traded for someone other than Amari Cooper, who you've traded away now? This team just feels unwilling to be all in. And unless you're all in, you're not going to be winning a Super Bowl. This team is very good, but they're not, to me, they're just not all in. The team is, but the front office simply isn't. So to me, you just got to make a move, whether that's signing someone like Odell Beckham Jr. You can't make a trade anymore, but it's just, this team is very good. And this team has so much talent. This is a Super Bowl winning defense. And this offense, if it can rekindle some of what they showed in 2021 and 2020 offensively, this is a Super Bowl team, no doubt in my mind. I still think at the current state, the Cowboys are the second best team in the NFC, just behind the Eagles right now. You're right there. And just a move, doing something to put you over the top, to me, that shows that you're all in. And the Cowboys have yet to do that in years. I'm not saying you have to trade for Brandon Cooks. I'm okay that they didn't. I understand the salary, the compensation you'd have to give up. Personally, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it either. But you have options still. Odell Beckham Jr. is still out there. Players like that. If you want to make the Super Bowl, if you want to go all the way, you have to commit. And that's something this team has been afraid to do. And until they do that, it's going to be tough because you're going to keep being right there, but no cigar, And this is a team that can do it. This year, I believe you are the second best team in the NFC. You could realistically be in the NFC Championship. You could have a chance at the Super Bowl with this roster. A roster that is not complete to me. To me, there's still holes. It's not, Des Bryant was comparing it to the 90s team. It's not the 90s team. It's not. I mean, it's not dominant in every aspect almost like that 90s team was. But this team, what they've shown is resilience. And they have shown that no matter the situation, they step up and get it done. The offensive line on paper doesn't look that good, but they're playing well. Noah Brown, that's your third receiver going into the season. I was like, yikes. But he stepped up. Cooper Rush held down the fort. Dak Prescott's looking great again. And on defense, you obviously have Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence, your star players, but guys like Jayron Kearse, Donovan Wilson, Malik Hooker, Anthony Brown even, Jordan Lewis, unfortunately, obviously he got hurt, DaRon Bland, Dante Fowler, under the radar guys are stepping up and being great players. Everyone on this team is all in. The way this team has been playing, it's been amazing. It looks like a team that can really make a lot of noise in the playoffs. That's what makes me excited, because I'm not saying just because you didn't make a move, you don't have a chance. I'm not saying that. But this team is all in. All in. Now, the front office, they need to be all in, because your team is, your players are, your coaches are. But until the front office, until every aspect of this team is all in, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be tough, because you're not all there. And you need every aspect of the team, everything to be firing on all cylinders if you want to win another Super Bowl. And that's just something that Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, they got to commit to doing. And I hope that they will. Obviously this trade deadline came and went. Didn't acquire anyone too major, but you're still going to have opportunities. To me, Odell Beckham Jr. is just a guy to keep an eye on. You want to prove you're all in? Give him a call. Pick up the phone. Make it happen. This team is so close. And this team is one of the best. Just make that move. Push this team over the top and set us up for a Super Bowl. That's my message to you, Jerry Jones. Make it happen. Make it happen. It's in your hands. You got to be all in. These players are, these coaches are, you need to be. And then that's how you get back to the promised land. That's how you bring another Super Bowl back to Dallas. And it's remained to be seen whether that's going to happen or not. But this team has the talent right now. Make that move. Put this team over the top. And this team can be special. They've proven it with their roster right now. Just keep making it happen. The team, and you're right there. You're right there. One more move, and to me, this is a Super Bowl team. This is a Super Bowl caliber team, and it's amazing to say that because I'll admit it. And after week 1, I thought the season was over. I'm thinking draft already, but this team has turned it around. It's been incredible. You have some amazing players, and you have some amazing coaches. You're set up for success, and it's looking at it at the bye week, it's exciting because there's hope again. Coming into the season, I was pretty low. I mean, it was tough because every year I try to be the optimistic fan, but this year it was tough coming in, especially with the off-season moves, or should I say lack thereof. But this team has gotten it together. All the players are all in. And I just hope that I hope they can keep it up. There's a lot of season left to go. Guys like Tyron Smith, 3 to 4 weeks away from coming back. When you can continue to get healthy, continue to get this team all the way in, whether that's with injuries, with everything, this team has a chance to be special, and I just can't wait to see what's going to happen for the rest of the season and, beyond into the playoffs. So, to me, just got to keep doing what you're doing. So, thanks for listening to all that. I know that was a bit of maybe I started to ramble a little bit there, but it's just this team, they're right there. They're right there, and I hope that they can make the moves necessary to really make it all the way. And we'll see. We'll see what this team can do. So, trying to think. I just wanted to talk briefly. Obviously we're at the bye week. I mentioned Tyron Smith, and it's going to be a week to get healthy for me. Your safety's banged up, Zeke banged up, just a lot of injuries all the way around. Not bad ones, just, James Washington, Terrell Basham on their way, probably returning from injured reserve soon. To me, there's no better time to have a bye week. Going in 6-2, have a bit of a tougher schedule ahead, get this team healthy, and, get ready for the second half of the season. So, thanks again for watching. It's been crazy. We're halfway there of the regular season. So this team has a lot of great football left in them, and I can't wait to see what they're going to do in the second half. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Go Cowboys.